CIL 650, in association with Tom Lucas Productions, presents Radio Real Estate. In the middle of us. And now, here are your hosts, Bill Macklem, Andrea Jock, and Tom Lucas.
Well, we're almost all together again. We're here. Andrea is back from Mexico. You look tanned and lovely.
Thank you.
Yes, señorita, por favor, huh?
Rested and relaxed.
What does that mean? Oh, that's English. I'm sorry. I thought you were speaking Spanish to me. It's Radio Real Estate on Smooth and Easy CL 650. It's the first official weekend of summer. Bill Macklem is away. You're in Winnipeg, my friend.
Yes, I am. It's a lovely spring, summer day, bright, green, cheerful.
Whereabouts are you?
I'm actually in Savitel at the Canoe Club.
Oh, I see. Is that close to Winnipeg?
It's right in the heart of Winnipeg.
I don't know these things. I don't. All I know is the Golden Boy, you know?
It's on the river.
Is the Golden Boy still there?
Gold Boy still, and he's still golden.
Really? After all these years?
And he's given to the man to government from the country of France.
I see. Well, anyway, Bill Macklem is here. Bill is the president of Dominion Macklem Mortgages. He's also the real estate mortgage expert on the program. You're going to have the mortgage rate update in a few minutes, and plus you'll also be talking about something a little bit different today.
Yeah, we're going to talk about Winnipeg. Just what's happening out here in terms of pricing and infrastructure, that type of thing.
Our Radio Real Estate home handyman, Finn Jensen, is off this weekend.
And we're also going to be talking about building with somebody you know dear well, Mark Jock.
Right.
Markcraft Homes.
He has a very special guest with him today.
He certainly do. And Bill, we had a nice chat with the guy last week, didn't we?
We certainly did. We had a great time with Mark.
He said that, actually.
Yeah,
I was wondering how he would do when I was gone.
Well, you know, some people really flourish when you're gone.
Amazing. He could actually do those things without you around.
Oh, my God. Hey, listen, if you happen to miss one of our segments, just please go to the website, which is RadioRealEstateJune4th2017, and download one of the podcasts. Just click on it and you have a listen, right?
Right.
It's that easy.
All right. Monica Dinaberga, president of Mummy Maids, chats about an environmentally friendly... You know what? She is so environmentally friendly. She has an environmentally friendly solution to help keep your place of sleep smelling like fresh.
She's talking about your bed, Bill. Maybe you should wash your feet before you go to bed. What do you think? Oh, okay.
Only my feet?
Never mind. The Radio Real Estate News headlines are coming up. I'm going to be reading the headlines and the stories that made the news this past week. Bill and Andrea will give us their expert opinions on the subject. We'll also be chatting with Rob. I think his last name is Hakesley. We'll find out about a new real estate product that's actually hitting the market very, very soon.
Our mortgage question of the week is coming up. If you have a question, please leave it on our website, RadioRealEstateShow.ca.
And we're going to be chatting with Norm Holmes, the Vice President of Pioneer West, about our recent elections and what that means to the real estate market out there. Well, Bill, it's that time. We have to take a look at the rates and what they're doing this week.
The rates are fairly constant. We have the banks, if you have a high ratio purchase, that means you have less than 20% down. It's a purchase. Less than $1 million, of course, because it has to be CMHC insured. You're eligible for better rates than if you put 20% down. So we're going to talk about that. But anyways, in the long run, you've got some great rates at 2.45, 2.54 on a 5-year fix, and 2.2 on your variable, or a little bit better depending on the type of product you're looking for.
Okay, so in the next segment of the program, we should actually, Bill, let's get a hold of you. Let me do a little trick with you. What's your telephone number, Billy?
The phone number here is 604-684-4663. That's 684-4663. Of course, it's area code 604.
Mm-hmm. And now if you're driving on in South Surrey and you want to stop in for like some goodies and some great advice, where do they go physically?
Oh, you want to come to our, we have a really great office at 108-15388 at 24th Avenue. Come in off the parking lot because the building is situated right on the street, so there's no stopping in front of it. So you got to go in the back where the parking lot is, and all entrances are off the parking lot. So I always say to people, if you see the liquor store on the right, pull in there, you'll find our office close to it.
All right, there's lots of free parking in the next segment of the program. Bill will answer the mortgage question of the week. We examine the Radio Real Estate News headlines, and we speak with Mark Jock, the CEO of Markcraft Homes, about where are the new homes going, what are we going to do with them, what are we going to do with the renovations. We'll find out, right?
Oh, you're right. You're listening to Vancouver's original on-air open house, Radio Real Estate on CL 650.
CL 650. We get letters. We get stacks and stacks of letters.
Well, here's a letter that just came in. It says, Dear Bill, obviously it's addressed to you, Bill. Dear Bill, Please put your summer sweater on. Mom, love Mom.
That sounds like something my mom would do.
I know your mom. Oh, you love your mom. Well, let's find out. We have a question for Bill this week.
Our question this week comes from Don Kowaleski of Surrey. Don writes, Bill, how do I check my free credit report, or should I even bother?
Well, that's a good question, Andrea. Thanks very much for Don for sending that in. Of course, you should always check your credit report, and you might as well get it done free, because every time someone like me or a bank or a Visa card or a store, department store, pulls up your credit, it costs you at least 10 basis points off your credit score. Yes, you do get more basis points when you actually make a payment on your cards, so you replenish it, so it's an in and out. It is a yin and a yang kind of process. But to check it yourself, you might as well do it the freeway. So phone Equifax, they'll ask you for some identification, and then you'll be able to check your credit score on a regular basis, and you'll know where it's going. The only problem with checking the credit score, I have to tell you, is that the score that you as an individual pull is different than what your lender will pull, because the lender's credit score, it goes deeper than yours does. Yours is just telling you how you're doing in terms of the stuff you're using. Your credit score that we pull actually looks at the history over the last 7 years, so you can see where things are going in regards to how you're handling your credit.
I wonder if the woman Bill was talking about television. If you watch TV late at night, you always see, check your free credit score now. Do you want to live at home in mom and dad's basement forever and ever? Huh? Do you? Huh? Check your free credit score now. So I figure if you call that number, they're going to try to sell you something.
Those guys might be. Because if they're advertising, somebody's paying something for that. And when you pull your own credit score, you don't have to pay for it. So, yes, I would probably stay away from that.
For expert mortgage information online, visit billymac.com. That's Billy with an I, not a Y, mac.com, or call Bill at 604-684-4663. That's 604-684-HOME.
Grandpa was a carpenter, built houses, stores, and banks. Chain smoked yellow cigarettes and hammered nails and planks. He would level on the level. He shaved even every door and voted for Eisenhower. Cause Lincoln won the war.
Oh, yeah. Grandpa was a carpenter. Yee-haw. We play them all on this show. Let me tell you, friends, it's the Radio Real Estate Show and Smooth and Easy, CIL 650. Mark Jock, good day, my friend.
Good day. How are you doing?
I'm wonderful. Welcome to the program. Nice to have you back with us. Now, last week, you were chatting with Bill and myself because you know who was down in Mexico. We won't mention any names.
Well, yeah. I wonder if she's still back. Is she back?
Well, she's back physically. I'll put it that way. She's back physically. Now, last week after the show, Mark, you had one of our regular listeners call you, and you're going over to see him today as we talk, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Tom, this is really fun because the chap's name is Alan Pearson, and he's calling me from a retirement home in Coquitlam, and has a home. He actually owns a home, still owns a home on Blue Mountain, and he's looking to develop a 2-bedroom suite. So I'm going over to his home, running a little bit late. I thought maybe I could actually have him on the program and say hi to you because he's a faithful listener of yours.
Maybe when you're doing some of the work, Mark, we could have you on the show. What do you think?
Well, we'll see. Well, yeah, if I'm doing the work and it works out, hopefully it does. He has plans and drafted up. I don't know if he's drafted the plans up or whether they're actually drafted plans. We're going to find out. And then we'll delve into it a little bit. And last week we were talking about budgets.
Yes.
So I thought, what a fun opportunity to kind of have a living kind of development, that we could kind of touch into now and then, You know
what? I had some renovations done around my place years ago, and I had a plan, but the contractor decided to keep the hacks out of my house and out of my hands.
Was that plan written on a Kleenex?
Oh, maybe that's what the problem was there, yeah. So we talked about budget a little bit last week. Bill will tell you there's money available for renovations going on. And I was talking to Andrea this morning before the program, and she said that a lot more people these days are deciding on getting some renovations done instead of selling it, right?
Well, yeah, because why sell a perfectly good house when you have a great location? Because once you sell, where are you going to go? Everything's so expensive. So we're seeing a lot more people now wanting to stay in their existing home but add additions or renovations and bring it it up to date.
Right.
So Mark,
Andrea, I think there's a critical path here. There's a point where a home has gone beyond the economic life cycle, and the problem is because land has reached such a high value, the economic value of the home is shrinking.
Well, just like
what
that.
I'm saying here?
Well, we actually, for a client in Coquitlam, remember, they wanted to stay where they were, but they knocked down their existing home, and they built a brand new home right on their very own lot.
Right, and that is kind of where we have to look and balance the cost of renovation, because when you renovate, you have to bring the whole house up to a code factor, which can be extremely expensive.
Right.
However, if you've got good bones, or the home has got good bones, like for example, the one on Elko Road, we stripped that down and rebuilt it because it was economically sensible to do that.
Right. So you're saying that sometimes it could be more expensive to renovate. You might as well look at rebuilding.
Right. There comes a point where, it gets, you're not going to get the return on your dollar by a major renovation. You're better off, knocking the home down and starting fresh.
Now, Mark, let me ask you a question. Let's suppose that there's an older couple that maybe have a very nice home in Burnaby, and their kids have left the coop. They've flown the coop, so now it's just mom and dad, and they say, we don't really want to move, but we need to make our house more adaptable for the age group we're in now. So what do? They call you and you go over and chat with them? How does that work?
Well, that's how it works. We go. We have our a variety of home designers and architects that are available to look at an overall plan of redevelopment. And depending on the extent of the work, then we can establish the plan to begin with, review the specifications, and then ultimately talk about the budget and the costs involved to do that.
It maybe just means retwigging the household, right?
I beg your pardon?
I said maybe it just means retwigging the household. Maybe one of the partners is in a wheelchair now. You got to make it more accessible for them.
Exactly. Yeah, and hopefully creating we under counter developments.
Nice.
With the kitchen. If somebody is unfortunately in a wheelchair position, we can try and make that work for them.
So you would, in that case, I guess, fix up the kitchen. Kitchen lighting is cool. Remember that kitchen lighting is cool.
Oh yeah.
Bathrooms, bedrooms, that sort of thing.
That kind of thing. Open up doorways. I mean, we're probably limited to hallway areas, but something to consider. Certainly, we can maybe look at opening the access areas.
So just about any home is reconfigurable, if there is such a word.
And I think a lot of the times people, too, to bring an older home up to date, it's taking out walls, opening up space, making it have that great room feel that people like.
Right, we talked about that. That involves a little bit of structural engineering. It involves bringing down some key structural points, bearing points, opening up maybe some larger footing pads, things like that. And then you can do your beams. You can open up a tremendous amount of area, which I've touched upon. That is where people really like that openness. So
I think that's some pretty good information there, Mark. If somebody wants to get a hold of you during the week, what do? They give you a phone call where?
The best place is our office during Monday to Thursday at 604-461-2560.
All right. Now, you build brand new homes, but you also do renovations as well, right?
Right. Major renovation work, but our specialty is custom home building. But we do renovation work also. That's right, Tom.
All right. Next week, you and I will do the Mexican hat dance, if you know what I mean. Mark, you have yourself a... Yeah, well, hold on.
Yeah, now I'm going in to see Robert right now, and that'll be kind of fun. Maybe I'll report next week, or we can have him on this station. Right?
That sounds good to me. Like, if you could be with Robert next week, we can get him live on the program. What a great idea.
That would be fun. We'd love to hear from Robert.
Yeah, I think you'd love to hear from one of your faithful fans.
That's right, and don't shoot yourself in the toe with that air gun, okay?
Okay.
Thanks so much, Mark. Coming up, we're going to be chatting about the radio real estate stories behind the news headlines that made the story this past week. And we're also going to speak about a brand new real estate product that has recently hit the markets.
This is Bill Macklem, president of Dominion Macklem Mortgages, with Andrea Jock of Pinnacle Group Real Estate Marketing, producer Dwayne Bishop, and Tom Lucas. You're listening to Radio Real Estate, Vancouver's original on-air open house on CL 650.
CL 650.
Well, we can all be rich people. That would be certainly nice. And I say good morning to Ron Hicksley at this point. Morning, Ron. How are you?
Great. Thanks for that, Tom.
Hey, thanks for coming on the show. You and I haven't met yet, but you did get a hold of me through the website, right?
That's correct, yep.
And you've got a marvelous new product that's available for people out there that are interested in real estate. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, it's reviewing strata documents. It's something that in BC there hadn't been any companies per se specifically doing that. I think there might have been one or two obscure websites stating that they would do this sort of thing. And part of the reason for that, I believe, is that you require a real estate trading services license to review the documents. Mm-hmm. So up until now, it's the designated agent, the buyer's agent, or whoever you may call seller if they're going to review documents, would certainly assist and read over those documents and explain the best they could. But there was no place, if anything was over and above your level of expertise, to send them to have them broken down and put into any kind of executive summary.
Ron, I am so excited to meet you. I am Andrea Jock, and I'm a realtor, and I've always hoped for a service like this because it can be, there's a lot to take in when you're reading minutes, and some things are over your scope of knowledge. So to have somebody take another look, I would love to offer this service to my clients.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear this.
Yeah, well, it's Rob, actually.
Oh, sorry, Rob.
No, that's okay.
Where did I see Ron?
Get that a bit.
Sorry, Rob.
Rob, yeah. So, and my company is called, I call it Strata Check.
Strata Check.
And I work out of Coldwell Banker in South Surrey.
Oh, well, la-di-da for you. You work with the big boy.
Nice.
That'll get him in trouble. Poor guy. Tell me a little bit more about this. I understand if you own a townhouse and you have the strata, I guess what the minutes, you have to supply minutes for so many years?
Yeah, well, there's a bit of a list of 2 years of minutes from a strata council and the general meetings, 2 years of financials, a current Form B, the bylaws and rules, details of any litigation that might be going on, any depreciation or engineering reports, legal opinions, the strata plan, and so, the first thing that a typical buyer and quite honestly, a lot of realtors will get a giant, package of documents. I just did a review actually for somebody, and I believe there was how many pages? Over 350 in one package. So it can be quite overwhelming, especially for a buyer who, at the end of the day, as best they can, understand, how do the bylaws affect me? Maybe they have a pet and there's a bylaw, for pets, or maybe they want to have a rental in there. And no rentals are allowed, or things that are relevant to your.
Or ongoing issues, a lot of the times you wonder if, are there problems with the balcony or the parquet's leaking, or there's so many things that are happening within the last few years. And as you read, from what I understand, you're supposed to highlight and make sure, if they're talking about maybe a special assessment or levy. And if that hasn't been paid, you've got to pay attention. Has it paid? Has it not been paid? Is there money that's going to be owing? What am I getting myself into? So having an extra set of eyes or someone look over that is so helpful.
Yeah, well, what I really am trying to accomplish as well is to create an executive summary, really, of all the documents. I mean, my background is such that, in writing reports and different things, so a lot of the reports that I've ever looked at or prepared myself have always come with an executive summary that sort of encapsulates everything. Perfect. Well, when you get all the documents, you're pretty much starting from scratch. You've got to go through all of it. Just to even begin. So, I mean, this assists not just the buyer, but also their agent that's helping them to, go through all these documents, because they're still going to have all the documents to refer back to. So, for instance, if there's legal issues mentioned in the minutes, but there's no formal declaration other than a mention in minutes, you can bring that to the forefront. And if they need to, they can go back and find that reference and or look further. They have a question to say, well, what is going on with this? I mean, is there an answer for this,
Rob, some years ago, I purchased a townhouse and I received all the documents, all the strata files. Of course, I didn't read them. Well, you know, I'm just hoping the guy that buys my place when it's time for me to go doesn't read them either. But you,
Right.
but times are changing, huh?
Yeah, they certainly are. You know, it's really coming into the crosshairs. You know, the depreciation report is really sort of, you know, been a big eye opener for people. You know, and they can be quite exhausting in the scope. And I think for a lot of people, it just is overwhelming to look, where do I even begin? You know,
Exactly.
how do I make sense out of all of this? You know, how does it affect me? You know, and as far as the depreciation report goes, sometimes they don't specifically indicate, you know, which model they have chosen to follow. So, you know, you have to compare what the recommendations were, you know, with any mention of what they've chosen to follow as far as the financial models, the contingency reserve fund, and cross-reference it, you know, with, you know, the financials to see, you know, has there been special levies, or was the recommendation to modestly increase the strata fees and, you know, to deal with the maintenance issues, catch up if need be, or maintain the status quo, like I say, how that's being approached.
So,
You know,
Rob,
I was just going to say, my strata fees keep going up, and I said to the lady behind the counter, because I like to pay my check every month, just so I can see she's wearing a new dress. I say, gee whizzikers, in the last years, it's gone up X amount of dollars. What other? And she just gives me this look. I mean, come on. Just kidding.
so Rob, out of curiosity, how much does a service like this cost?
Well, I thought about it, and I thought, you know, $400 is a pretty modest cost. And back in the day, I mean, I started home inspections back in '93, and at the time, no one was really sure, you know, exactly what is it, you know, why is it, or any of those. So a lot of those questions sort of popped up. So it's sort of very similar to back in those days, you know, as far as the question about the value of it, I guess you could say, or the need for it and that sort of thing. So I think it's a pretty modest price, really, to get somebody a fairly good handle on what's going on in their strata corporations.
Yeah, I
Rob,
think
do
that's
you
fair.
sell more than just townhouses? You also sell single-family homes and condos as well?
No, actually, I don't buy or sell any real estate.
Wow.
I got my license specifically to do this because, well, I'll tell you a story quick here if I can. My wife is a realtor as well, Andrea Hakesley. She's with Sutton, West Coast. And she was reviewing tons of documents, going over these, and was saying to me, you know, Rob, this is a lot of work. Wow, I wish there was somebody, you know, we could send these to help out and so on. And she says, you know, you'd actually be good at this. So we did some research and found that there was nobody. There's lots of businesses in Alberta, companies in Alberta, some in the States. Ontario has their own set of rules. I think there's specific lawyers, real estate lawyers that offer the service. And so we did some more research and realized, wow, so, you know, in order to do this type of service, you know, yes, I have the background that would certainly help me with that, but I have to have a trading services license. So, of course, I'm just like, oh, well, I'll get my license, you know.
To read strata minutes.
Yeah.
Love it.
And then realizing, oh, wow, now I'm seeing things from the other side and realize, wow, what an eye-opener, I tell you. So I got my license, and specifically to do this, because that's my forte, that's my background, I feel. And the other key ingredient here is that this way, you know, there's no conflict at all. I'm not, you know, going to be helping someone buy a place and reviewing the documents and then later using that information or anything of that nature or competing with other agents. I want to work with other agents. You know, we're now all, you know, licensees together, and we always work together. And so I just thought it would be simpler to do it this way.
I think it's great. I'm definitely going to be using your services, Rob. What's the name of your company again?
It's called StrataCheck.
StrataCheck.
With a K.
With a K, of course.
Yeah, there's another brand out there with a similar spelling.
I see. Well, now let's not be confused by the issue. Let's get the real thing here. What's your real deal number there?
Sorry?
I said, what is your telephone number?
Oh, it's 604-351-6500. 6523.
All right, that's 604-351-6523. Ask for Rob. You'll come over. You'll read all their strata minutes forever and ever.
That is wonderful.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and the website is www.stratacheck.com.
Wonderful. And listen, I tell you what I'm going to do. If I decide to move and I need some strata things read, you're the guy.
That's right. Glad to do it for you.
Hey, before you go, one more time, what's your telephone number?
It's 604-351-6523. Stratacheck.com.
Okay, I'll go and check the minutes and make sure that you're in the minutes in the budget, okay?
Okay, sounds
Rob,
good.
thanks very much for being with us this morning. Thank you very much. I appreciate
Thanks,
that.
Tom. Thanks, Andrea.
Thanks, Rob.
All right, are you guys ready for some radio real estate news headlines? Bill, are you ready?
You betcha.
Andrea, are you ready?
You got it.
Here we go. Okay, I'm going to read the headlines that made some of the news this past week. Bill and Andrea will give you their expert advice. So, how come the city of Vancouver has become the place where people can afford to live? Huh? The city has just launched a commission of up to 10 years on a housing plan. What's going on?
Well, taking a look at that article, I think they're trying to reach out to the community and to see what suggestions people in Vancouver have to say, how can we make our city more affordable? Of course, people talk about building higher density or making more affordable housing. But Bill, what are your thoughts? I mean, everybody's got to give their input here on how to make this better.
Well, I think that you're absolutely right. That's the way to start. But to be quite honest with you, there isn't a city in the country that can actually do anything about their housing problems. They actually need the federal government and the provincial governments to help them with this process, because they don't have the wherewithal. I mean, they can tweak things and they can play with things. They can give incentives for builders, but they can't build anything. And back in the 70s, the federal government brought in MURBs, and the federal government has been working with cities all across Canada for the last 30 years. Some are doing a better job than others, and we haven't been using them as well as we should be.
You know what, Bill, there's an expression out there that says, don't count on the government to do everything for you. I mean, I was brought up in the generation where you wanted something, you went and got it yourself. You didn't cry, I need the government to get it for me.
Well, in this case here, with this kind of a national housing situation we've got across Canada, we need their help because they have the funds and they have the manpower.
Okay, now authorities say that there was a zoning change back in 2011. It hasn't seemed to work yet. There are large condos out there that are pushing the culture out of Chinatown. What's going on in Chinatown?
Yeah, well, I think some of the developers maybe didn't take into consideration some of the design guidelines when they were building, type of homes that maybe suit Vancouver, but not necessarily fit in with the culture of, Chinatown. So I think, Chinatown's feeling at risk that they're losing that special little feeling there.
It does have its own feeling, doesn't it, Bill?
Well, I think that they missed the boat again. You need to have a much bigger stick on this whole process than what we're doing. We've got a municipal government or city government that can inform and can advise and can push a little bit, but they don't have enough power, and they need to have the power to change this because you're going to lose your Chinatown. I talk to Chinese people all the time in terms of the clients that I deal with, and they're telling me that the Chinatown they go to is no longer in Chinatown.
Interesting. So the city of Vancouver is going to sell off 8 sites to firm up some low-income rentals. You might say affordable housing is just getting started for real here in the city, right?
Yeah, well, they're going to be leasing some of the land to help. But Bill, what do you think? Is that going to help?
No, it's not. Because the guys that got to build these things have to make sure that they make any money on it. And even if they're going to get free land, doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to get rents that they need to offset the cost of building these units. And that's, again, where you need a national housing policy.
All right, now I love
on an ad hoc basis.
I love this headline, Bill. It says, one headline says, if you want affordable housing, stop tearing down the old houses.
Well, I think what they're saying is stop taking down the old apartment buildings that already have affordable housing so you can build one big single-family home on it. That's kind of what the issue in this article is about.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess go back to my same argument that you need to have a national program, and it's got to be done properly. You just can't do ad hocs. And I mean, we do happen to have 27 cities in the Lower Mainland for the 2.5 million people that live here. So each city's got their own mandates, their own culture, and their own fiefdoms, and they dictate what they want to happen, regardless of what the people want.
Sounds good. Well, that's your headline news for today, Andrea. In the next segment of the program, you'll be chatting with Monica Dina Briga about something special she has coming up about Bill's sleeping place, right?
That's right.
Yeah. And also, radio real estate information is coming up. We do this all the time. Vancouver's original on-air open house. Willie. How about we say, hi, this is Bill Macklem. Say it after me. Hi, this is Bill Macklem.
Hi, this is Bill Macklem,
President of Dominion Macklem Mortgages.
President of Dominion Macklem Mortgages.
With Andrea Jock.
Andrew Jock, Pinnacle Group Real Estate Marketing.
Nice.
Producer, Dwayne Bishop.
Yes.
And Tom Lucas. Can we do that again?
No, keep going. You're doing fine. You're listening to Radio Real Estate on Smooth and Easy, CL 650.
CL 650. A little bit of Monica in my life.
We just started that last week. A little bit of Monica. Monica Di Briga is here. She is the founder and the president of Mummy Maids, a nice group of ladies that come over and make your house sparkling clean. Now, if you're like Bill, you have to go to sleep every once in a while. And if you want to go to sleep, you got to go to sleep in a clean place. Right, Monica?
Hi. We spend a third of our life sleeping, so it's important to make sure the room you're catching your Z's in is detoxified as much as possible. To rid your bedroom of environmental toxins and harmful VOCs, volatile organic compounds that easily become vapors and gases, choose a natural mattress, ensure paint is low VOC, and choose natural furniture that doesn't off-gas into the future. Remove all scented candles, scented plug-ins, and sprays that are adding chemicals into the air. Finally, adding household plants to reduce indoor pollution is really key. Not only does the greenery enhance your space, it helps to purify the air naturally. For a restful, safe, healthy sleep, this is Monica Di Briga for Radio Real Estate.
Mummy Maids will clean your castle with no hassle. Call Monica at 604-533-4959, 604-533-4959, or visit mummymaids.com. That's mummymaids.com.
I guess what Monica was saying, Bill, is when you go back to bed, you shouldn't be taking those scented candles with you while you're sleeping.
I think it's not a bad idea. Maybe I'll get some of those, we call those other things that burn on a stick.
Incense.
Incense, that's what I'm trying to say. I knew that.
Bill, you're such a hippie, let me tell you. Bill, is there money still available for if somebody wants to buy a house out in the Tri-Cities, let's say?
Absolutely. The money is available. You gotta dig harder to get it, but the money's there. It's like gold. You know there's some gold in those veins over there, but to get the gold out, you're going to have to really work at getting it. So
either that or become a dentist, right?
Same way.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Now, Andrea, you just got back from Mexico at a friend's wedding, and you come back and you got a beautiful listing.
I do.
Wow.
I have, honestly, one of the most exceptionally rare listings on the market today. It's a truly once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I'm offering right now premier Belcara oceanfront property. It offers 180 feet of beachfront. I might as well not even go to Mexico. I can come back here. I wouldn't even say this is Mexico. This is like Hawaii in Vancouver.
What I'm thinking is you should talk to the owners and line it up so you, Bill, and myself and Dwayne could go over there maybe and do the show.
Oh, we should. You guys would love it.
I'm loving it, yeah.
Yeah, so it's an 18,000 square foot lot. This trophy property offers sparkling, sensational sunset ocean views. Like I mentioned, 180 feet of your own private beachfront. It's nestled, so it's very private. You're at the end of a cul-de-sac and you wind your way down into this completely private location.
So what are the people doing? Selling their homes up in Point Grey and North Van and moving out to the Tri-Cities?
I think so. And this opportunity is huge for somebody. You can either renovate the existing home and make it spectacular and basically have your vacation retreat with your own private dock with deep water moorage. So you can shoot off and take your boat and head up to the Sunshine Coast, or go over for dinner at Deep Cove, or head down to the inlet and go to the falls. And it's spectacular.
With a home like that, why would you even want to leave?
You don't have to. Actually, the clients that have lived there for 50 years, they bought it as their vacation home. They're very sweet. They're actually moving to White Rock, and now they're downsizing. So this is a great opportunity for someone else to take over.
Sounds pretty interesting to me. What number do we call you at?
604-783-3124. That's 604-783-3124.
And here's what's coming up in the next segment of the Radio Real Estate Show, Billy.
We're going to be talking about what's happening out here in sunny Winnipeg this particular summer. There's two seasons in Winnipeg. It's called winter and construction.
I hear you. We're also going to speak with Norm Holmes, the Vice President of Pioneer West, about the outcome of our recent election and what that means to the local real estate market.
This is Andrea Jock of Pinnacle Group Real Estate Marketing with Bill Macklem, President of Dominion Macklem Mortgages, producer Dwayne Bishop, and Tom Lucas. You're listening to Vancouver's original on-air open house, Radio Real Estate on CL 650.
CL 650.
Radio Real Estate Show. This past week, I was speaking to our friend, the Vice President over at Pioneer West Acceptance Corporation, Norm. Norm, you and I were talking about the recent election, right? And do you think it's going to make much of a difference?
Well, as far as the real estate market goes, a lot of people were wondering about how that would affect the market. Normally, investors don't like uncertainty, and the outcome of our provincial election last month has created uncertainty with a minority government and also a new government. But over time, as the new government sets their policies, the uncertainty will be tempered.
So what do you think this means for the real estate values in Vancouver and even the rest of the province?
Well, short term, I don't see much of a change because we're in a strong market from the spring leading up into the summer with a lot of momentum and strength. But the effects of uncertainty on the real estate market will mean developers will put off new projects, and some purchasers will also hold off purchasing and with a wait-and-see approach, similar to what we saw last year with the implementation of the new foreign home buyers tax.
So you think the market will cool off in the fall then?
Yeah, certainly. I do see that.
Do you think we could see some values drop then?
No, I don't think so. I would expect more of a leveling off of values, assuming that rates continue to stay low and employment doesn't slip. Employment is the key.
Do you think employment affects our real estate values?
Yeah, I do. In the 2008 recession, the triggering of the downfall of the economy was a Lehman Brothers collapse, but also the revelation of massive junk bonds in the real estate market. The domino effect was massive layoffs resulting in high foreclosures because people had lost their jobs and could not pay their mortgages. In our current macroeconomy, the market is very strong. So as long as that continues, we will have a stable real estate market, even with investor uncertainty.
Sounds like you think our real estate market is strongly affected by employment levels then?
Yes, I do. So hopefully our new government becomes great at creating economic growth and new jobs, and then it'll be great for everyone.
Now, Norm, before you take off on us today, if somebody wants to get a hold of you at the office, what number should they call?
Probably 604-987-1420.
Fantastic. And that number again is?
604-987-1420.
Nice job as usual. Thank you so much, Norm.
All right. Thank you.
Have a great day. Thank you very much. It's the Radio Real Estate Show. This is CL 650. We are smooth and easy.
The best things in life are free, but you can give them to the birds and bees. I need fun. That's what I want. That's what I want.
That's what I want. I want somebody. And you thought the Beatles did that tune, didn't you? That's Barrett Strong, the original version. You're in Winnipeg, Billy.
I am. Weather here is fabulous. The sun is out. A little bit of a breeze to keep the mosquitoes down. So it's a wonderful summer day for the first weekend of summer.
What about those big horse flies? Don't they smell new blood? Aren't you afraid?
I am.
I think, yeah, well, it should be.
I have electric wand I'm going to swing around my head.
Let me put it this way. If somebody was to move from British Columbia, which of course we're not, but if somebody was going to move from British Columbia and they took all the money for their house, could they buy themselves a really spiffy kind of house in Winnipeg, Manitoba?
They really could, and I'm amazed of the people I've talked to already this morning, how many of those people are either from Coquitlam, one lady was from Maple Ridge, who have actually moved to moved to Manitoba for the lower house prices. They've come here and they're working. So I've met some people in Petersfield, which is a little community north of city, and I've met some people in the city itself who are actually ex-BCers that are currently living here in Manitoba. So
the reverse has begun. Instead of them moving out here like you did, we're moving back to Manitoba.
Exactly. It's less expensive, probably a little bit of a slower lifestyle, so it's probably more family-oriented. Certainly not the hustle-bustle you got to worry about in Vancouver to make them enough money to pay for the taxes and everything else that goes on. So there's a lot of sport activities, too, if you have a young family? Got a lot of sporting activities. You got a lot of parks. I mean, you got Assiniboine Park, which is one of the largest provincial or city parks in the country. I think it vies with Stanley Park on its side, so it's fairly large. Then you got all the lakes. I mean, you got lakes east of the city, all part of the Whiteshell area, which is part of the Canadian Shield, which is really kind of great. So it's almost like the Ontario mentality of having a cabin or a cottage out on the lake. So you've got that going. And I'm noticing that there's a lot of infrastructure being built right now. The highway system here, the overpasses, underpasses. I just noticed that they got a new bridge that goes across the Red River north of Selkirk. That's a first. They got Chief Peguis that goes across the Red River in the city. So they're building a lot of bridges and infrastructure that, really, to be quite honest with you, we haven't seen that level of construction in Vancouver for quite a while.
So if you're saying there's a lot of construction going on, then it must be young families that are making their move to the PEG.
There are. It's house prices are reasonable. You're looking at $300,000 to $400,000, $500,000 on getting into the expensive homes. And there is work available, right? Oh, there's work available. I just saw an ad on the side of the road as I was driving up to Petersfield. Now, where this is rural, so you can buy a treed lot between $70,000 and $85,000.
Wow,
not bad.
Not bad.
No, they'd say Bill would cut down the trees and then sell them.
Exactly.
Well, I don't blame
they're
you.
probably about 150 years old, but they're probably maybe 20 feet high.
Get expert mortgage information online by visiting BillyMac.com. That's Billy with an I, not a Y, MAC.com, or by calling Bill at 604-684-4663. That's 604-684-HOME.
Bill, if you could arrange to get the money, we could maybe arrange to go look at a place in Winnipeg with you next week. What do you think?
I think we should look at a couple of places here. We could get one on the river. That would be very nice.
Oh, that'd be very nice. Is that the what is it, Assiniboine River?
Red River.
Red River.
The name one. Assiniboine comes through from the west, and the Red River comes up from the south. It actually originates at almost the same point as the Mississippi, except one runs south and one runs north.
Isn't that the one they had the song about in the Red River Valley?
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, okay. You do what you got to do there. Then does your wife want to make the move yet, or does she still like White Rock?
She doesn't mind it. She loves it out here. So,
she likes it out there.
She'll be easy to talk to.
Okay, well, I'll talk to her about buying your place in White Rock then.
Okay, buddy.
All right, Billy, thank you so much. Finn Jensen is
president of Dominion Macro Mortgages with Andrew Jock, the Pinnacle Group Real Estate Marketing, our illustrious producer, Dwayne Bishops, and, of course, the infatigable Tom Lucas. You're listening to Radio Real Estate on CL 650.
I've never been called that before, and also, by the way, Finn Jensen is not here this week.
CL 650. I'm fixing a hole where the rain gets in and stops my mind from wandering. I'm filling the cracks that ran through the door and kept my mind from wandering.
Well, usually we have Finn Jensen on the program at this time, but Finn is away this weekend. To tell you the truth, Finn is with his grandchildren. They're graduating from high school already.
That's nice.
Poor Finn.
Wow.
Wow, isn't that amazing?
That's good.
Yeah, so his wife said, if you go on the radio, I'm going to break your face. So that's where Finn is this week. So we're going to talk a little bit to Bill, a little bit to Andrea, too. And you sell houses out in the Tri-Cities area, which is Coquitlam, Port Coquitlam, and Port Moody.
That's right.
Am I close?
Yeah.
Okay. And you told us about one lovely thing. Bill and I are moving right into that place.
Oh, well, wait. I've even got more, if you can believe it.
What have you got?
So it's so exciting. So I right now have a listing on Kelly Avenue, and this is basically resort living at its finest. So located at 3612 Kelly Avenue. This house is unbelievable. Offers 3 bedrooms. It's perfect for someone downsizing because the master is on the main level, same as the kitchen, with some larger rooms downstairs. So if you have older kids that want to come and stay, they have their own kitchen downstairs. But what's so special about this property, it's nestled in lush landscaping. So all you look at is sparkling ocean views overlooking your aqua swimming pool. And we're on the market there for 1,788.
I love it when they have the master in the main because mom and dad can go to sleep, but yeah, you can still hear the front door and the kids sneaking in.
Exactly. No one does that.
Carry our shoes. They'll never know the difference. Trust me, they know. Right.
So that's a beautiful listing, and I have a new one coming up. I can't disclose the address yet. Actually, I have three new properties coming up in the same area. One is located up the street, also offering spectacular ocean views, renovated home, dock share opportunity. And I mean, I thought I had beautiful views in some other listings. This one you see right down the inlet. It's stunning.
And you're going to go to work with that client of yours, so Bill and I can go to visit that house in...
Yes.
Right.
And then I have a house next to the beachfront property. Another one listed at 4.2. And this one is actually already on a subdivided lot, pedestal ocean view. I mean, there's so many fabulous things coming up in Belcarra. So what I'm going to do, and then I have another one coming on for 3.8, 3.188, another renovated home over 4,000 square feet, also with ocean views on an acre, almost acre.
Wow, you're going to be busy for the next little while.
Yeah, I am. So here's what I'm going to do.
We should be using that to reverse mortgage to help people get in. Do you realize that if they sold their house and they had probably 45 to 55% down, they could use a reverse mortgage on the rest of the financing of that place, and they would have no payments at all on that home.
Nice. Well, we need to get people to come talk to Bill.
That's right, Bill. So before we get people to move into the Tri-Cities areas, we're going to get them to come and see you first, get the money right, then go see Andrea.
Exactly. And then if you guys want to see all these lovely homes I'm talking about, I'm hosting the Best of Belcarra Real Estate Tour on Thursday, June 15th from 3 to 7. So it'll all be posted on my website, so you can come and visit every single home I've just spoken
And your
about.
phone number is?
604-783-3124.
And of course, you have a super duper website.
Yeah, pinnaclegrouprealestatemarketing.com.
pinnaclegrouprealestatemarketing.com.
Or shorter, pinnaclegrouprem.com.
Okay, now I'm totally confused. Bill Macklem has money. You're going to be back from Winnipeg soon, but your team is there working for you hard, eh?
My
This
team
weekend?
is working hard, but I'm back Sunday night, so I'll be back in the office first thing Monday morning, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, looking to help all those people that found homes over the weekend.
I don't know about bushy tail, but you'll be back, right?
I'll be back.
Bill, give my regards to the Golden Boy.
I certainly will.
Fantastic job as usual, Billy. What were you saying, pal?
I'll say bye for now.
Okay, bye for now.
Bye for now.
Oh, you're going too.
Great weekend.
Everybody's going. Everybody's leaving me. Well, Dwayne, bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody's leaving. Bye-bye. Thanks for coming to the open house, but bye.
I'm going now.
Yeah, Bill's going now. Bill's got things to do. He'll be back on tomorrow, and you'll be back next week.
Yeah.
And I'll be back tomorrow at 6 o'clock in the morning. Oh. Okay, well, enjoy the rest of your weekend. It's Tom Lucas on behalf of everybody here on the Radio Real Estate Show saying thank you, bye.